welcome to our review of Snowpiercer, a movie from 2013 that was recommended to us by Dave last week. This would be my third time watching this film. I really enjoyed it. It's based off of a French graphic novel, and there's also a TV series that's out. Season 1 just ended up earlier this year, Season 2 coming back, I think, middle of next year. This film was directed by Bong Joon-ho. He is an acclaimed director that just won Best Picture last year for Parasite, a film that I enjoyed. It was pretty good. It stars Chris Evans, Song Kang-ho, Tilda Swinton, Octavia Spencer, Jamie Bell, John Hurt, Ed Harris, amongst others. As always, there will be spoilers. We're going to go over what we like, what we dislike, and give you a general synopsis of the film. But we're going to start off with Dave, I think, since it's your movie. What do you think of this film?
Go ahead, Ron.
Nah, you know how this go.
Uh-oh. This how we doing it? Okay.
I know, man. He out of pocket. But no, this is my second time watching it. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Captain America in this John. I don't care what his name is. His name always gonna be Captain America to me.
Right.
But Chris Evans, he's in it. Yeah, man, I think this movie's dope, dude. Like, it just shows you like the type of shit like the world can be capable of. So they exploded this gas into the air. I think it was a gas. They exploded into the air trying to lower the temperatures because of global warming. And then next thing you know, it just freezes everything in the whole damn world. So now it's just like a frozen tundra out there. You can't spend no type of time out there and you'll get like frozen to death. So everyone's on this train with I don't know what they call it, this living engine or whatever that's supposed to last forever. And so yeah, you got your different sections of the train, like just like you have in the world. You got your higher class, lower class, middle class, all that stuff. And then a revolt starts to happen, and Captain America leads the Avengers down the first part of the.
I mean, basically,
You had me so confused.
Basically, Civil War, right? Civil War in the train.
And yeah, pretty much Civil War in the train, pretty much like Cliff said. And they're just trying to overtake it. And like, it's dope. Like all the characters you meet like the drug dealer, not the drug dealer, but like the addict to Crollo, fucking from Hunter.
Yeah, Crollo Silver
from Chrono. So he's the guy who like opens up all the doors for them and leads them all the way to the front. And then as they're going through this train, like you start to learn stuff about like what's actually on here. They had an aquarium in this joint, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
An aquarium. Then you saw what the protein bars were made of, which was just freaking gross, but yet you still had to eat it. And like you see, the cool thing about it is like, well, not cool, but like one of the most interesting things about it is as you're progressing through the trade, they notice some of their friends that's been taken, and like now one of them's making the protein bars, and somebody's over there doing something else, and like it's just crazy to see like what they do with all these people in this movie. So it's a pretty good movie, man. Acting was really good. The ending it wasn't bad, but like I'm assuming the dad, the drug addict, and Captain America, they died. I'm assuming they died, and the kids were still alive. And my whole thought process, like, damn, what are these two kids gonna do now, bro?
Yeah.
And like now you're out in the wilderness. Like they saw the polar bear, so that gave them a sign of life. Like, hey, maybe we can live out here. My whole thing is, I think it's been like 18 years since that whole, the frozen thing happened with the gas.
Mm-hmm.
So did like no one at any point like figure like maybe I should try to go out there just for a little tiny bit to see what happens? Because even in the beginning of the movie where the bull throw the shoe at that lady, I hated that damn lady, bro. I couldn't stand her ass. But and they threw the shoe. He threw the shoe at the lady, and they stuck his arm out to freeze it. That even took quite a bit to like freeze over. So like no one really sat there and thought, like, hold up, this is like taking longer than it should. Shouldn't he just like instantly freeze up? But it didn't happen. And like I started thinking like, yeah, his arm's gonna freeze because it was out there for quite a bit, and then you're on a moving train, so the wind pressure of that is making it like probably 10 times colder.
Mm-hmm.
So his arm freezing probably had nothing to really do with like, it actually being the gas that was out there since like 18 years ago. So obviously it died down a bit. But overall, I enjoyed the movie.
And pointing out plot holes here.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ron.
Oh, Cliff, you gonna go?
I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Dave, you said everything. Yeah, this is a great movie. I liked it. This is my, I would say, third time the second time, I kind of like skimmed through most of the parts, like most of the fight scene and stuff to watch this stuff. But yeah, I enjoyed this film. I think it was a great way to show like the caste system. I think they really showed that well. People working in the back, eating the roach bars, the protein bars. That's was gross to me. Of course, seeing it again. And then when they went to the tunnel was the best part of the movie. And so they also did that scene in the TV series too, the first episode where they stuck someone's arm out of the. So that's like their common thing in all of media. And the show is basically that, but just the movie, but over 13 episodes. But I enjoyed this film. What you think, Ron?
Oh, hold on, real quick though. One thing like that I pointed out that was really bothering me, like that scene you said before the tunnel, and they got to that room with all those people in there in the mask and the axe.
Mm-hmm.
So you telling me you just got all these people in this room? The whole
Just
time?
waiting, just waiting.
I know, yeah, just waiting for some smoke. That bothered me so much.
That's
Like, y'all
their
really
9
not
to
doing
5.
that, but just sitting here for the whole train ride. Y'all just sitting here just in
Mhm.
case something happened.
Hoping and
Okay.
wishing.
Open and wishing.
Here we go.
Where do I start with this bullshit?
What? You lied.
Listen, I really got mixed feelings about this movie, bro. Such mixed feelings about this movie.
What?
Let me finish, my dog. It started off kind of slow, and I was already kind of picking up like where it was leading to, you know, like you guys said with the caste system. Like I was, and the crazy here's the thing. I was super interested in this like the story, like, so I might really watch the show because if it's going to expand on the story at all. But I was super interested in the story, and I noticed the caste system, and I seen what was coming as far as the revolt and the revolution and all this other stuff, and a lot of little things was just getting on my nerves as far as like the plot and what they was pushing forward, and like, okay, now you go in this cart, and no one was really stopping them, no one was really doing anything, and then we get to the end. Now the end is where it started to get me, it started to pull me back in, and I started revisiting all the problems I started to have with the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean, one of the things I said, and I watched this with the missus, I literally said the train's biggest problem is going to be population control. That's the first thing. I literally said that in the beginning of the movie. It was like the first half hour of the movie. I said, oh, I can see how this will work, but the trains, I said the number one problem would be population control. So I really would love to know how they deal with that population control, because there's just no way that this thing can support a bunch of people, but it can't support a universe. Like, it can't keep expanding, because eventually you'll just be laying on top of each other. Like, it's just no way. It's just no way, no how. No matter how many trains you got in that car, at some point you just come around in space. Same thing with Earth. It's not infinite. People think it is, but it's not. So the end is what kind of really tied things together when come to find out that the guy that worked in the back of the train, I forget his name, working with Wilford. What's his name? Wilford, to work the owner of the train.
Yeah, Wilford.
Yeah,
Gilliam?
Gilliam, yeah, the older guy. So I mean, in that scene where they had to fight in the dark too, that was super super interesting. I like that part a lot. But shooting through the window of the train, like that bothered me a lot. Like, really, this is supposed to be the last line of humanity, and y'all just gonna blatantly shoot through the windows? Really though? Really though? A major plot hole to me was, so y'all ain't got no thermometer on this fucking train to know how cold it is outside. Y'all telling me y'all been on this train for 18 years and nobody stuck a finger out this motherfucker to see if it was cool. Nobody licked their finger and put their hand outside to see how cold or hot it was.
Yeah, I get that.
That was like a huge like plot hole to me, because I kept having the feeling that the movie was leading towards like, it's not that bad outside kind of thing. Especially when they kept talking about the people who jumped out of the moving train and they was frozen right there on the hill. Like that, I was like, okay, so the movie's gonna shift towards, is life sustainable? I had a feeling that was gonna happen. So, but I kept saying, so nobody got a thermometer. I kept waiting for somebody to say, we've been tracking the temperature for years and it's been decreasing. No one said nothing this whole time.
Well, no, that one dude did.
The guy who was
guy-
on the doors. He was keeping track of the down plane. He was keeping track of yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Okay, so he was doing that as a mental thing. What I'm saying is like, okay, so you got Wilford. So you telling me you would at least have some scientists on this goddamn train, that somebody gonna know something, and but you don't have no thermometer. no thermometer on the outside of this train, or even on the inside of the train, that can track the temperature outside. Like cars do that now. So that was like a huge, like, major hole to me, that wasn't possible. Like that they didn't know how cold it was out there at all. Then, and I mean, yet again, this was a pet peeve that I had, but lead up to the end of the movie, I got why it wasn't like that. But then I was thinking the whole time, if this is y'all last stand for humanity, why don't you have more security, like leading up to the first train? That thing should be protected at all costs, and they just had the door open all willy nilly when they was coming to kill the main protagonist. I forget his name, Captain America, as we gonna call him.
I think some of the things that show, because Wilford is just like a rich guy. He's a rich tycoon. He's not like, planned for this, other than
no, I got that part. Like it just was a happen of chance. Like I got that part. Like,
so it's right, like the thermometer.
That.
I think that some of those things definitely, they definitely need that. But I think it's just a guy over his head. They kind of didn't. He just built this train and is in this position of power just because he has the money. So I could chalk it up as being like he wasn't prepared for it.
Right, I could chalk it up to him being prepared for it. Okay, but the lady explained in the story during the classroom that he knew that it was going to freeze everything over, so he was prepared for it. Mm-hmm. So y'all, like I said, y'all didn't have no thermometer. y'all didn't have no. You built a whole aquarium inside this fucking train, but you didn't buy a fucking thermometer. Come on, bro. Like, come on.
Other than that, what about the characters? The other characters in the back of the train. Do you like any of the characters? What about William Hurt's Gilliam in the story?
Gilliam, I mean, I like the story. I even like I like the characters. Who played the kid? Edgar.
Edgar was dope.
Yeah, I like the character. I thought the acting was great too. I always forget. I feel bad. I'm gonna have to find out her name now. The black lady that played in the movie.
Octavia Spencer.
Yeah, dude, I always love her. Yeah, I always love her. She's always good in everything she plays. Like just low key. She's a good supporting character in everything she's ever in. Mm-hmm. I like the character. I even like the character development. I mean, when Captain America gave his little story about them eating babies and stuff, like to me that made it real, because that is something that would happen. That's something that would happen. Feed them cockroaches, like that's something that would happen. Like that. Like so, I was cool with all that leading up until like the plot ending of like for instance, them destroying the train. This is y'all last line of humanity hope, and y'all said let's just kill it off. Let's just blow it all.
Nobody leaving.
Ain't nobody leaving. Like that to me, like I mean, you could argue that it shows the state of humanity, like they're just going crazy in there. Humans supposed to be free and stuff like that. Like you could argue that state of it, like to really truly start over, everything has to be gone. You could argue that was the meaning of the ending, because that's how I took it. But I don't know. Some things just was just too hard to just let go. But I did enjoy it.
Yeah, some of the other overall, I enjoyed it.
My boy wasn't having that.
Right, that thermometer the whole time. I kept saying, so nobody got a thermometer.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what your thoughts are on the TV show, because it was kind of. I mean, I watched the first 5 episodes. Lady Bugsy stayed in throughout the whole series and enjoyed it. Season 2 is coming out at some point.
Did you guys peep I forget Tilda, her hand motions like that she was doing? She kept doing that. She kept doing this hand motion like she was doing. Remember where the kid was at the end of the movie?
Oh yeah.
So she was doing that too. So like she must have been doing that for years, and now it's just like a second habit to her. And I thought that was super interesting. That was like a little subtle thing they put in there, like because as Hilford talks about, everybody has their place and their part. Mm-hmm. Like just a gear cog in a machine kind of thing. And I thought that was super interesting too, like a little subtle thing. Like she kept doing it, and it kept showing you her hand motion, and it was kind of bothering me. Okay, what is she doing? Her gang signs? And then it kind of it kind of pieced together later when you see the kid. And the kid acting like a robot, but it was called him when he jumped into the Starship Trooper machine. I was like, really? What is going on? The door is open to this engine. They're having a war right outside the door. No one's closing it. No guards are coming. Like that stuff was just bothering me. Like you can't be acting like that when the world's over. You just can't be like all nonchalant about this engine.
Throw him off the train.
Yeah, get him off. Throw him off.
Got to go.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, that's our opinions on Snowpiercer. Let's see if you guys are going to watch the TV series. Would you feel interested in doing that or reading the comic book?
I definitely watch the TV series, like Ron said.
I'll check out the TV series because the story I'm super interested about. Like the story.
Yeah, they definitely expand upon it, and I think it's a prequel. I'm about 80% sure it's a prequel.
So it's probably the story leading up to the last revolt.
Yeah.
The last was like 4 years or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it might, but it's, you know, it's crazy to think, you know, how they thought, like how the Wilford dude came to that idea that you had to do that, and that's so true, because you can't just go around killing people, because that'd be just like inhumane. So you had to create something that was going to kill people on their own. You got to give people hope. If people don't have hope, they'll really act crazy. But as long as people got a slight thing of hope, they'll most likely be tamed.
Manipulation.
Manipulation.
All right, folks. We'll catch y'all next week. Make sure you check out the podcast too, where we go over some slashers for the month of October, and also we have some movie viewings coming up. So be sure to check that out and join us on Discord. Until next time, take care.